This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, well, it's 7:02, and in my role as acting chair, Stephen Linsky, I am declaring a quorum has been met and the meeting may begin. It will begin with seeing if there's anyone here from the public who wishes to make a comment at the outset of our meeting. I don't see anybody, so no hands raised. So we will then move to
Melanie's raising her hand.
Well, Melanie, yes, go ahead.
You can see me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I am from the public, and I'm joining to see if I might, join all of you next year.
Oh, great, Melanie, you look so familiar already. Okay.
Oh my God.
That I didn't consider you a member of the outside public. I considered you already a member of the Guard. So the very quick answer to that is absolutely, because we, and maybe I don't know if anyone can update us further, as the season goes on, typically we always have openings. In fact, what we can do, Melanie, is if we don't already have all your contact information, then we should get it and see if you're interested. It's very late in the season, but you might want to look at various plots that may have be available at this moment and make a selection. Otherwise, you can start fresh next year. The first thing you need to do, however, is to go down to the clerk's office, and at City Hall,
right?
And they have our application forms. So if you're able to file that, that will give us an ability to get all your contact information. You can also go on our website too, but that's one quick way. Typically, people submit their fee at the time in which they submit that. You don't have to. And if you mention to the clerk's office that you were directed just simply to fill out an application so that you can either come on aboard now or next year, we'll have a fresh one next year. So there'll be no necessity for payment of our otherwise modest fee. Is that a good way to start, you think?
Yes, I had just messaged with, I think, Eric on Facebook Messenger, and that's where I found out the little bit that I did. And I told him that I'd like to share or have a half a plot, and he said maybe.
Yes, that's people have been doing that, so that's a real possibility. Bless you, Eric. Holiday season. So yes, that's within the realm of possibilities.
Cool.
In fact, Ted, who's right below you there, Ted does a half. There he is. I'm trying to remember, Ted, this year, is your other half occupied by
Norman.
A tenant?
Norman,
yes.
Norman,
Thank you. That's what
and he gets his wife up there too, so
yes,
he can help it out.
All right, yeah. Well, there'll be Melanie. There'll be others uncertain. So,
great.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Thank you for coming on board. Actually, Eric, I'm not familiar enough with this, but there was a little up in the top left. There's this little yellow box with a slash to it that actually indicates that visitors are in this meeting. So I should have been given the idea that Melanie was perhaps a visitor. You see it on yours, or is it just mine?
Yeah, I see it on mine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice little feature.
I think that we all are considered visitors.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. If you look in the chat, the people So in the lower right-hand corner, there's like two people that has a 6 over it. So if you click on that to see the list of everybody that's in the room, we all have that yellow slash next to our name to indicate that we're visitors.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, we don't have, even though we've got 2 hosts in here, 3 hosts in here, we have administration power, but not enough of them. I would like to point out, I didn't hear if you mentioned it, Stephen, but Margie is the one that keeps the active list of which plots more so are open. So do we have a contact for her? Can we send it in the chat for here?
You might have given me that.
Okay.
I'll take a quick look.
It's I believe it's on the application, Eric. That's why I was just suggesting that.
Okay.
If she gets that and fills it out, then she can contact, Margie. We can get her information, and we'll affirmatively contact you too, Melanie, so that we can get you in. But yes, to Eric's point, we do have someone who's designated as internal communications and marks this, but and she may be joining us later. We'll find out. But in any event, thank you. I'm going to move on from public comment to our first order of business, which is adoption of the minutes from last meeting. And for all of those who were present and attending that meeting, you may vote on adoption. Wait a minute. Hold on, Margie's coming right now.
I got her.
Right on cue. Oh, you got her in there.
Quick draw,
Frank. Did that.
Yay, Margie.
Hold on, Margie.
Hey, Margie.
Giving you a standing ovation.
Can you hear us? Margie? She's muted. I see that.
Oh.
Yeah, Melanie, I know for a fact that D9 is open, the plot. And it's totally overgrown. In the past, one thing we've done, I'm not sure we're still doing this, but in the past, if somebody picked up a plot late in the season like this and cleaned it up, then they didn't have to pay the fee next year. So we'll figure out if we're still doing that, because I mean, it's overgrown. It's work. But I know that plot. I know the people that were there before, and there's a lot of chives already. So yeah, there's a few things that come with the plot that are actually good.
Margie, can you hear us now?
Margie, you're muted.
You have to unmute.
I can hear you.
There you go.
Okay, we can hear you.
We can hear
And
you.
we can hear you.
Okay, well,
It doesn't work when I go to a certain browser. I can't get on, and that's what I always do. I have to go to Chrome or Google.
Yeah. Well, above you on your left is Melanie Collins, and
Hello, Melanie Collins.
And Melanie is interested in getting a plot. So,
Okay.
one thing that you can,
Now?
Well, she was thinking of next year, but I did invite her to explore what's open now and see if there's an interest that she has in picking something or working it or whatever. And Frank is handing out incentives left and right here to,
I just mentioned incentives.
Yeah.
That there could be a possibility, because I'm pretty sure Margie D9 is open. If I'm looking at the map right now.
We're running a Labor Day sale.
We just lost Margie. She'll be back.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to the minutes.
Yeah, we can do that with Margie.
Is there a motion?
I have to abstain. I wasn't there last time.
You will have to be there to make to vote here. Amongst those who are present, is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
So moved.
Move to adopt. Is there a second? Eric, a second. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Margie, you're back. So one thing you can do, Margie, as we're voting on this is that you can put contact information in the chat that Melanie can look at and get. I had just recommended that she go and fill out an application just so we capture her information.
Nora Doubleday moved from C12 to A7, so C12 is also open.
Okay.
And I was trying to go and look at the drive to check out the map, and I got kicked off. So I don't think I'm going to do that again right now.
Okay.
Yeah, don't bother with that. We know that there are some. Actually, Melanie may be interested in a half plot too, so we can look at that. Anyhow, so we're voting on adoption of the minutes. Margie, there's been a motion to
Sure.
move and a second. All in favor, say aye. Or indicate.
Aye.
Any opposed? See none. Minutes are adopted unanimously, which brings us to the treasurer's report, and we turn to our treasurer, Ted Stock.
Yeah. The first thing was that there was I discovered an error in the July report, so I submitted a correct copy. The city wanted us to change a lot of our purchase orders that had been around for a long time and to start a new purchase order. So we had to, in a sense, put money back into the reserve account and then create a new purchase. Anyway, for Easthampton feed, the report in July originally showed $300 because that was on one of their reports that they had given me, but they had not updated it to reflect an expenditure at Easthampton feed. So I had mistakenly put in $300 when it should have been $214.42. So I just wanted to clear that up for July. For August, we didn't have a lot of activity. We did have one new fee payer, $30. That's our income up above. And we had a conversion of our Flurry's outdoor power equipment purchase order to $300. So where it shows an expenditure $271.90, that's really taking away from the reserve and then putting it into a purchase order.
Okay.
And then we did have an expenditure there. And that was basically it for July. Looking at the budget, we're in good shape. Let me just see here. On the budget, we are $118.50 over what we budgeted as income, which was nice from, I guess, an extra person paid plot fees, and we did have contributions over and above the plot fees this year, which were helpful. So we did have, let's say, $118 over the budget, and we still have, what is this now, $372 under budget in our expense budget. I'm anticipating at least $250 of that will go to the irrigation services at the end of the season. And so we should be in pretty good shape for the rest of the year, looks like.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Ted, on that. Mark had his hand up.
I do. Okay, Ted, so I don't have your report in front of me. I did look at it before, but kind of collecting what you just said, do you anticipate then that year's end, if you will, garden year end, that we will be break even or in the black, and anticipating any further expenses that might come up this fall? What do you think?
I'm not anticipating a lot. There's a possibility that we may want to try to do something to help out with the pollinator garden, because we do have the 3 new raised beds built. They haven't been installed yet in the location where they'll be, but they are built and ready to put down. And I don't know if there's going to be any requests from Karen then as to helping to begin to fill those. Other than that, unless you or anybody else knows of any problems, Frank, equipment or anything like that?
No, everything seems pretty much in order. And that the other expense, Mark was able to go up and get an oil gas mix for the trimmers. So that's where that Flurry Power purchase was. But other than that, the only thing we're going to be spending money on, knock on wood, is just Broadbrook shutting everything down for the wintertime.
Yeah.
And they do that in the fall? Is that when that happens?
Yeah, Mark, they'll do that. They should come and do that, I think, sometime in late October. And they'll flush the system out to get the water out. So
would I conclude then that our objective as a quasi nonprofit organization is to spend all of our income so that we truly break even by the end of the garden year? Is that accurate?
Well, I mean, we don't need to.
Well, we don't need to. I mean, I don't think we're in a use it or lose it kind of situation.
No, we're not.
No, I think it's great if you have some leftover cash and you can put it into next year's.
Oh yeah, we can roll it over.
Yeah,
I think you're just looking for an excuse to have a party.
Well, if you'll help me organize, you're pretty
good.
We'll
have a fall party.
Oktoberfest.
let me just, if I can interject for 1 second, Melanie, I know you've been hanging in. Thank you, because this is an opportunity for you to see how the garden operates. But since the party has been mentioned, we have a party planned on September 21st. I'm sorry, that's Sunday. I hold on. I may have misspoken for 1 second. It's the 22nd. It's that Sunday, the 22nd. Am I not correct?
Hold on, let me look at my calendar here.
We're also terrible with dates. That I'll speak for myself. Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
Sunday the 22nd of September, which marks the equinox. So we're going to do it. It's actually it's like a garden tour. So everyone will kind of give a update on what they did, as we walk through the plot. So it might be a great thing to mark on your calendar, Melanie, to come and get an introduction to that. So I've got it as an early afternoon start at 1 o'clock. So unless that changes, mark that in your calendar. Anywho, Ted, are there any purchase orders that require endorsement? Sounds like there are none.
No.
So then the report, finance report, is on the table for adoption. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Mike has moved adoption.
Second.
Is there a second? Okay, Mark seconds. All in favor of adopting the treasurer's report, say aye.
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 Opposed? None. The report is adopted unanimously. That brings us to operations, and Frank.
Gonna need some help mowing. That's been kind of the big thing. Yeah, and maybe I was out of town for a while too, so but I did get, I had a little bit of help with the mowing, and I'll put the word out to people who've mowed so we can kind of get everything under control here again. It's been nice. It has been raining, so things have slowed down. There's a number of overgrown plots. I sent out emails, and I've heard back from a couple of people who are already working on cleaning the plots up. And I think one of those actually was the one that Julie had given up.
Yeah, that's
So,
A7.
A7, yeah.
And Nora's taking it over.
Yeah, and hers, I already emailed her. She was on the email list for C12 too. But yeah, it's gotten, just the last 3 weeks, things have gotten pretty out of control. I still got one section of mine that I got to really clean up, but and then look at here. Before the evening, we need to talk about. I mean, this can go on the agenda for next meeting, but it'd be good to try and project out to figure out when we're going to have a work party. We could use a work party for just some general cleaning up and some projects, but we're also going to have to figure out a close day when we shut everything down. I got the 19th and the 26th of October as 2 Saturday options, whichever one we use. And I don't have a whole lot else, really.
On that note, we had talked about whether or not for our gathering on the September 22nd, whether we would check with folks and try to get a really good date for a work closing date for people. So
yeah,
we can hopefully use that date for that. Mark, you have your hand up.
Right, and just to piggyback on to Frank's comments, this would be with regard to equipment. Just kind of the thing that I've chosen to oversee over the last year. I think we're probably okay, but I'm ready to probably do another inventory. And what I'm going to ask is that if people have requests for equipment that they figure was missing this year, or that would be good to add to our supply in the shed, that they let us know so we can plan on making those purchases at the right time. Margie had mentioned, for instance, there's an example of, one of the nozzles was defective, and there may be others that are too. So kind of an assessment of, hoses and nozzles, and see how things are going, and if we need to add on to that. So I would like to suggest that we do a quick survey of the members and find out if there's other things they think we could use either now or next summer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Margie.
Yeah, in regards to the nozzles, I happened to be in Walmart in Hadley yesterday, and I always check the garden section at this time of year, and they had these really great, like $8 or $9 nozzles on sale for $3.50.
Wow. I was thinking the exact same thing, Margie. Like they're gonna try and move inventory out of some of these stores now.
Yeah, I bought a couple of them. I bought an extra one that I put on the hose by my plot that we looked at the other day, Mark.
Right.
So that one is good now, but I will put out the word in the notes to see if anybody else needs something.
Yeah, it could be anything, hoses, nozzles, or equipment in the shed, anything that people would like to have.
But if anyone can get to that, I don't know if they have it in the Northampton Walmart, but the Hadley one, because they do have different things.
Yeah, they do.
Should I pick up a few more if I happen to get there and they're still on sale?
I was going to say, is this a problem in terms of purchase orders?
This is the same issue. This is the same issue.
Well, no, this is.
What about petty cash?
I would say if it's $3, we could actually consider using some petty cash.
I don't have to get 40 of them.
No, we're not going to do that. But you get like $3 a piece, so you get like 4 or 5. That's $15.
I don't even know if they're going to be any more there because they seem to be going quickly.
Yeah, right. Okay.
but I'll check it out.
But you make sure you say the receipt.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I still owe Ted a gas receipt.
How much do we have in petty
yes,
cash
you
these
do,
days?
Frank.
That Mark, I think there was $200 and something in the petty cash
Oh,
still.
plenty of money then. Okay.
Oh yeah, no,
So,
it's not. We're not down to vapors by any stretch. Hold on a minute. I got the report right here. Come on. I just saw it. There, $234.27.
Oh, wonderful. And what's that money from? That's money from Keys, or where did that money come?
I'm
we
not
accumulate?
sure of the original source. Well, all I know is the a lot of that. I think it was roughly $300. That Stephen turned over to me when I started being the treasurer. I think that was it. And Sarah has some because she got money, I think, from Stephen, having to do with the keys and having to get new keys made and so forth. So she keeps a little bit of that. And I have the rest.
And some of that was key money that was accumulated key money from over the years.
Yeah.
And most of that is exactly that, accumulated key money and of course the Russian payoffs to try to influence us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But those are the rules. We're not talking about the dollars, so they're both. But yes, it's there.
Now, the only thing about petty cash is always there's no way that I know of replenishing it.
Right.
Right.
Other than perhaps, I mean, the city really wants to have everything go through to them, including cash that's paid for plot fees.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not something that we should be skimming off. I don't know if it's acceptable for people when they make contributions to contribute cash and have it go. I don't know. As I say, I'm not sure of all of the origination of our petty.
It's basically for the
cash
deposits. So if to the extent it gets replenished, if you want to use that term, it's only for those folks who tender a deposit for the key, and that, like most folks, they just when they they don't come back for the deposit.
Now we were able to add $50 to the petty cash because when Mark got his shipment,
the compost,
everything that was paid in came out to be, I think we had an excess of $50 of what we had to pay to the compost people.
Correct.
And so Mark turned that cash over to me, and I added that back into the petty cash. So I suppose that's one way of doing it. It's we never run all the compost payments and so forth. We don't do that through the city or through purchase order, or we haven't been. So that's strictly a cash transaction. I suppose that's one way of possibly doing things.
Well,
if we need it.
In that situation, that's because that's money that, in a way, we just donated that money to the petty cash. Because we don't have a PO with the gas station. We don't have, this stuff like that. It's like, come on,
Yeah. So it's just a matter of having a way of getting the money and having the money to pay people who have to, like Frank, purchase gas at a gas station.
Right.
Because we don't have POs with them.
Yes, correct.
City's very reluctant. I think a lot of agencies, they don't like people to have petty cash accounts.
Oh,
Sure.
it's not managing
Slush
the money.
funds. Yeah.
All right. So I think in terms of, well, the fund is what it is at the moment. And should there be a need to refund it or to go back into it, we have Margie, do you have your hand up?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, can't we find out for sure from the city if we could have like a separate petty cash fund that people can donate to?
Well, you can have donations. It doesn't have to go to petty cash.
No, but it always goes to the city.
Well, it goes into our budget or our
Goes into our
fund.
budget.
But it's not, it can't be spent like in Walmart or any place like that. So I'm thinking of donations for things that could be spent other than where we have established places that we buy from.
That's the point, Margie, is that the city, for its part, is not encouraging us to do it. So no, we're not going to encourage donations to petty cash. People want to make a cash donation and we keep it in petty cash. That's a different issue. Here's a $50 bill. You put it in petty cash.
But we have to put that out to the community and let them know it's a possibility. And I'm thinking that we don't want to do anything that's not kosher.
Right. So we're not going to advertise. For that reason, we're not advertising. Please donate to petty cash.
Right. That's not anything we've ever done or even considered. It's this is money that was put down for deposits and people just vanish. Is basically what happens.
So, and we've been fine, and it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's not an issue.
In theory, it's an interesting discussion, but it's not an issue. Okay. So that's it for operations, right? Correct. We've got our outreach report. Margie, internal outreach.
Okay, so right now, wait, I wrote it down. Right now, C12 and D9 are open.
Okay.
And a few people have taken over C6 and B11 for the season, just to kind of keep them under control.
Yep.
I know Layla and Deirdre have taken C6 and done a pretty amazing job.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
there's like almost no weeds and they planted stuff. I don't remember B11. I don't know if it's as controlled.
It's mostly covered, Margie. B11 and D11. Excuse me, A11. Are covered, except for that portion of that someone is growing squash in.
Is A11, is that where someone's growing squash, or is that open?
No, I was agreeable to someone using a portion of B11 that I've covered over to grow some stuff. And I think it's largely squash, but I don't know. But A11 is completely covered.
And I'm trying to see who's in A11.
Well, it says Melissa here.
No, she's.
Oh no,
I think she left. She essentially left it.
A11 is Micah Kennedy, and B11 Melissa was taking over for the season.
A portion of it.
Are they both covered?
They're both covered with the exception of a small portion of B11. You'll see if you go down there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm always rushing, unfortunately. There's not much else to report right now. I mean, it's a couple of people have shown interest, and I have offered them plots. Like it was late August, I believe, and I said you could start now and possibly not pay a fee, especially if it's weedy, but they chose to go on the waiting list for next season. So, yeah, and I don't know of any half plots that are available right now. Of course, Melanie, if you want a half plot, we could put it out there after you chose a plot that there's a half a plot available too. But there's not much else to report.
Okay.
Well, I did get the a plot fee for Michelle Kennedy.
Micah?
Mica, yeah.
When did that come into?
Let's see the date on that. Let's see, when did the city process that? This says August 14th was the receipt that I got back. Let me just see when. And there's an application dated that they dated on August 1st. So I have a copy of the application, and let's see, they paid. There's a receipt. They paid on August 14th.
Wow. So there's two questions. Is that A11 or not? Well, or is it
I
some
don't
other-
know.
A11 has Micah Kennedy's name on the map.
Okay, well, they paid a fee this month.
All right. Well, last month.
Okay, well, see, the application came in August 1st, so that would be still time to grow stuff.
Well,
I mean, August 30th becomes a little different.
Well, I'll check. I'll nose around down there again when I'm, when I'm back on the.
And I'll email Micah.
I'll try to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify again, sorry, Stephen, you said B11 or A11 had a little portion with squash.
B as in boy.
Okay. So Micah's the A11 is just completely covered.
As best as I know, I'll check again tomorrow and see if there's some activity that I missed.
Okay, thank you.
Will do. Eric, you have any? Okay.
Nope, nothing for this.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that this is a good opportunity this time of year to beef up our list for next, our wait list. So it sounds like we've got a couple of folks, Margie, and so that's a good way to come into the following year, with some folks ready to come in. That brings us now to path maintenance report. Anyone
Yep,
have anything?
I didn't get anything done this week. I'm planning to do some next week. I checked to make sure that there is construction contractor paper. We've got 1.5 rolls of contractor paper, so that should get us through 3 sections of path, maybe. We might need to pick up some more. It's pretty cheap, so that might be end up being a petty cash purchase. I think it's like $14 a roll, depending on what we need. Try to keep it minimal, and then always, if anybody's got cardboard or newspaper, we can always use that instead. So bring that, leave it in the shed, and leave it beside the shed if you can't get into the shed. Any of that is good.
Okay.
Has all the cardboard that was in the shed been used?
No, there's not a lot of cardboard. There's a bit of newspaper.
Yeah, there's some newspaper. I might be able to bring some more newspaper up. I have some cardboard on my plot just because I was gonna work on the path beside my plot. Yeah,
I mean, newspaper.
If I can get up
newspaper
there,
isn't great.
Pardon?
Newspaper isn't great. It'll do the job, but it's not great.
It's good for in gardens, but it's not great for the paths.
Yeah.
If I get up there the next couple of days, I'll be sure to at least try and mow any of the overgrown paths. So, and knock that down that way anyway.
Yeah, I was going to use the manual, the grass whip, because there's a couple ones that are so overgrown that even with the string trimmer, you can make some way on that.
Yeah, that mower though, it's got the double blades. It's pretty good at handling the heavier stuff. But yeah, I use that swing blade too.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned about C9 where Karen is, and I haven't really.
Yeah, I emailed her. Have you heard from her?
No. Ted, have you
Yeah.
heard of her since you built the beds with her? Didn't hear me?
Ted?
Ted? Hello,
What?
Ted.
Yeah,
Have you,
yeah,
have
I
you
can't,
you can't hear me?
okay,
Yeah, we
yeah, I
can hear you.
couldn't, wasn't coming through clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Have you heard from Karen since you built the beds with her?
No.
But you did email her, Frank? I'm a little concerned because she's
Yeah, no, I sent her an email again today because her plot, she hasn't done anything with her plot. It's totally overgrown.
yeah, I noticed
And it's
that.
not like her.
No, it's not. I might send her an email too.
Yeah, let's check in on her, see how she's doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Donation garden report. I will give a mini report, which is, and Eric, I send the photos out. Did I send one? I just.
You
think I
sent the
just
one of
sent
the
one
two
out to-
tomatoes.
Yeah, the 2 tomato. That was this week. 2 tomatoes.
For
For
posterity, what days?
I feel like when I go down there this year, I should have a bag over my head. Slither in and slither out, because honestly, coming in with, oh, here's a community garden. Here's our donation, 2 tomatoes. It doesn't go so far down there. So I sent a follow-up email internal, which is just if what we've been doing this year is that some folks have been growing, things for the donation garden, but like in their plots, whatever, maybe having a list that tells me exactly where that is. And I will personally, since it doesn't seem like anyone's going to make the effort to harvest and put it in the the coolers, that I will go to where the specific areas of growth are and look to harvest myself. I can't keep on going down with 2 tomatoes.
I'll send an email out. I'll put that in the notes.
Yeah.
But
if someone can just give me here, this plot has, the growing things, whatever, and if it's clearly demarcated, I'm happy to do the harvesting.
And anything that's in the circular grow bags that are not
Yes.
my plot, because I also have the circular grow bags.
Yes, that's what I'm concerned, Eric. Because you, and I'm sure there are others that use them too. That's why I want to make sure I'm not rating
I'm pretty sure the fabric bags, the big fabric bags, the
Yes.
very large ones, like that are in my plot. If you see those sprinkled around, those were for donation, so
Okay,
those
well,
are
that's-
free to take.
but
For posterity, what days are best for dropping off the donations? When do you bring it down?
And normally Mondays. This week was Labor Day, so it wasn't open Monday. So they also have a pantry day on Wednesdays. So Wednesday is the fallback day, but Monday morning is when I typically do it.
there are
Stephen,
But if someone, I can go down there. I can do it for Wednesdays too. It's not a problem. Mark.
Stephen, I'm wondering if it's necessary to always be consolidating this and putting the pressure on you. I have found, because I do some personal donations over there, that anytime you bring produce there any day of the week and leave it in the little boxes under the tent, people keep driving up. I mean, there are certain official days that they pick up, but
Yes.
unofficially they come here all the time. And so any day you drop something off, I want to say that for individual gardeners, I think it's going to get taken. And whether we get credit for it or not, I don't know. Maybe that's important. I don't know. I just think it's important that you get the food to the people who need it.
Right. Well, like I say, they run an operation. They do designate those 2 days, Mark.
Right. Official.
It's not like
pickup days.
not like it's that restrictive. And I think my guess is their preferences for their operation, their funding, etc. They would probably strongly prefer stuff coming in on those 2 days rather than just being left.
Well, I have brought some stuff in, as I say, at my own leisure, and talked to Robin, who's the director
Yeah.
there, and she was totally thrilled to get it. So, I mean,
Well,
anytime
yes.
you can.
And in fact, yesterday Wednesday, it wasn't just us. They were really short produce. They were, so yes, there's no question about the need, Mark. There definitely is.
And the fact that people come, even if it's not Monday or Wednesday. I mean, I've seen people drive up just to check out what's going on there. And, there might be a few loaves of bread or some watermelon or something like that, and they'll take it.
But, we also are directed to serve the people that they really want served, who, rely on it. And it's quite a mix of people. So as compared to whoever's coming on off days. Any event.
I don't know that they check. Do they check who is actually coming to get the food?
I think there's a line, and they know the folks.
Well, oh, wait a minute. Is there some kind of eligibility or something? I don't understand how that works, I guess.
Oh, I don't know what they require for that, but I think
I think there's an income eligibility guideline.
I believe there is.
And you determine it yourself. They're not taking pay stubs or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
In Amherst Survival Center, you have to show your income. I don't know about the community center in Easthampton, but many of them you have to show. Or if you're on a program like SNAP or WIC, maybe even in mental health, sometimes you automatically qualify.
Well, this is interesting to me. I'm going to probably talk to Robin sometime and get the whole story, and I'll report back.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is, from what I've seen, is that you'll go. There's a line. It's orderly, and there's like a check-in. So, it's not like there's people kind of dashing in and out, grabbing left and right. They try to keep it organized for a number of good reasons. But Robin's very just check with her.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
just see what the eligibility is, and just some of the issues that we're discussing right here. I think it'd be good to talk with her about that, and I will.
Okay, Karen not being here, I take it there is no pollinator report. Is there a volunteer hours report? I haven't seen an updated one since last time. We're moving the compost operations report to the next garden year. There's, I don't know if there's any gardener feedback and or any old continuing business. We talked about new business for next time, which is getting our work day and closing date settled. Are there any other items that should be taken up next time that people want to report in on? Okay. Our next.
For new business or old business, gardener comment. If anybody has any time to work on the corner gardens, was it C1 through D2? That thistle has gotten out of control, and it needs to be manually removed.
It started again.
If you can spend, half an hour, it's not removing the thistle that's the problem. It's like we need to just leave some contractor bags out to encourage people to just like pull a couple, throw it in the contractor bag. Somebody will get rid of the contractor bag eventually, hopefully.
Right.
I was deterred from doing it. I pulled a little bit, but I was deterred from doing it because I didn't have the ability to pull. I didn't have anywhere to deliver a contractor bag at that point. So I didn't do any, but I would have done a little bit, if somebody had just left a contractor bag out in the plot. So, or sometimes there's like a broad area where people throw the thistle and it kind of roasts in the sun and then it gets collected later. That always worked. So I think that there was a plastic tub that somebody had thrown in there for a while. If we could get that plastic tub back, just walk by, pull up a couple thistle plants, throw it in the plastic tub, as long as it's not flowering. It's good. It just something needs to be done between that and the mint. The mint and the thistle are doing battle in that plot, and it's really interesting to see who's going to win.
I'm going for the mint.
There's a reason
Oh,
why we're not supposed to grow mint up there too.
I
Well,
might go pick.
That's-
I'd rather have mint tea than thistle tea.
I mean, I agree. It's easier to get rid of, but it's still a pain in the butt too.
Mint
Okay.
doesn't hurt when you kill it either.
Yes. All right. We got mint fans. Oh, Marty.
Mint
All
tea.
right. Well, next meeting date is Thursday, October 3rd. I'm sure Sarah will be back and chairing. And before that, again, is our garden tour / gathering. We set last time 1 o'clock on Sunday, the September 22nd, to do this. If it's bad weather, we'll do the gathering part at my house. I've offered my house, but let's plan on being there at least for the tour. The tour will do kind of rain or shine type of thing, and then gather back wherever we can, either on site or whatever. And it's a potluck type of thing. So I think that'll be fun.
Sounds great.
And it's also an opportunity if we get a good showing to double check with people so they know when, cleanup will be, we can get a good cleanup closing date, too, for folks. So
Does the-
that is, yes.
Does
you
the
say-
closing date have to do with when the water's going to be cut off, or?
Yes, well, yes, although we normally we'll have the water shut off after, we don't, so that we have water if needed for people to close.
You said 1 o'clock on Sunday the 22nd?
That's what I have. That's what I have in my calendar from where we were last time on that. Starting
At the
with
garden.
tour. At the garden.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine on that part, but if it's rain, we can retreat back to my house for a gathering for those who want to. So bring your items, or we can pick and eat. That'd be even more fun.
Not my beans.
Not your beans. How about those Italian tomatoes, though, Frank?
Yeah, I'm making sauce right now.
Oh boy, I look forward to that sauce on the 22nd.
Yeah, I can make a little lasagna for the
Yeah,
22nd.
I'll bring- yeah,
it'll
we'll
get
get
eaten before
I'll
then.
bring
I
some
can
pasta. Mark will bring some pasta.
You got it.
I can bring some cheese.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
We're talking about. Okay. Any other question or unfinished?
I do remember Sarah mentioned something about ordering topsoil and compost, that she was talking about ordering it.
There's a little note here. It said that project has been moved to next year. That's what,
Okay, so all that's moved to next. Okay.
Oh, that's good to know.
So is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Before we
Margie's
adjourn,
made the motion.
Okay, Eric's got something.
Okay, Eric, what do you got there?
Farmer's Almanac says that first frost, soft frost, is going to be the 3rd week of October.
Okay.
Just want to
know.
get that in there.
Good to know.
Oh, that's good.
There are
I
apples.
think,
There are apples already at Park Hill.
yeah, apples are great. It's a good apple season, and it turned out to be a good peach season too.
But
I've seen some trees turn very early, so I don't know what that means. But anyhow, okay. Well, thank you, Eric. You had your hand up. Is that a second to adjourn as well? Okay. We have a motion to adjourn. It's been seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, at 7:56.
Bye.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.